Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, so I'm going to jump quickly into this bridal look I created. Okay, so I just used the micellar water and I'm going to moisturize her face. After moisturizing her face, I'm going to prime her face with the Rimmel matte primer. After priming her face, I'm going to focus on her T-zone area using my Pond's oil control primer just around her nose, her forehead and her jaw. After that, I'm going to highlight the high point area of her face using this liquid illuminating glow from Millennials. After which I'll be using two different foundation on her face, warm sun and I think coconut. Yeah, so I'm using the warm sun like to highlight her face, and I'm going to use the coconut to contour. So I'm just going to build up her contour and highlights with the foundation from there. So I just blended everything together with using my beauty blender. After that, okay, I'm just blending into her neck, sorry. After that, I'm using my beauty blender and highlighting her face using Fun Elegant concealer. That's one of my best concealer, sorry guys. So I'm just going to highlight her face, the jaw, her forehead. I'm going to highlight her nose. Okay, after that I'm going to go into contouring. So I'm using Carob Black Opal in Carob. Yeah, so I'm just using that for her contour area, forehead, that's her hairline. I'm going to use it for her nose too, to contour her nose. And before contouring her nose, I'm going to blend with nutmeg, black opal in nutmeg. So I'm just trying to replace color back on her face using the nutmeg stick foundation in black opal. All right, so I'm contouring her nose using I can't even remember which I used. Yeah, I think no, I used Carob to contour her nose. So I'm using a flat brush, like a really flat brush. If you watch my video often, you'll notice that I use a flat brush so I can get that very straight and defined line. So after contouring her nose, I got this method from Laifa, alright, to set the highlights on her nose. So use a really thin brush, like so you can get that very sharp and pointed nose, and I think I really like that method. So right now I'm highlighting her face, no sorry, I'm brightening under her eyes with pure beige. This is my regular method. This is how I highlight. Okay, I use two shades of foundation, that's Fond and Pure Beige. So I always go in first with Fond, then later I go in with Pure Beige. So I'm using the Pure Beige now on all our highlight points, so that is under our eyes, our jaw, our forehead and the ridge of our nose, which I did earlier. So I'm going to use the leftover on the beauty blender to do her reverse contour. Okay, this method is very important for you to do. It helps to define that contour area. So right now I'm using my beauty blender to just blend in everything, so everything look very seamless, both the highlight and contour. You don't want to leave any harsh lines, you know, you want it to look as flawless as possible. All right, so I'm using the leftover from my micro beauty blender to set under the eyes, so I can set it with my powder. So I'm using the Milani powder in 108, I think that's what they call warm. Yeah, in 108. So warm or medium, I think medium, sorry. So I'm using it with a small brush. All right, I'm using the small brush so that it doesn't get into our eyes. Like when you use the bigger brush, it's more comfortable when you use a small brush. So I'm just going to set all over our face. So right now I'm using my MAC mineralized powder. I've forgotten what shade. I'll leave it in the description box below. I'm just using it to set in between a highlight and contour. I like the finish that gives. So to set a contour precisely, I'm using the Milani powder in warm. Yeah, I think that's 109. Okay, to set all over her contour. Alright, I'm using the same powder to contour her nose with a fluffy brush. So I'm going to set her highlight with this translucent setting powder from Laura. Can I pronounce it? Laura Mercier, I think that's the pronunciation. I'm going to leave it in the description box below. The same thing I did with highlighting her face, I'm going to set her reverse contour, and the same thing I did when I was setting the highlight on the ridge of her nose. I used the flat brush too. So I'm using this brow tamer from TM Essential to tame her brow. Then I'm going in with my best brow pomade from Hagar and Esther in Toffee. I'm using it to draw her brows. Okay, so I'm just going to create the outline first before filling in her brows. And I promise you guys, I'm going to make a proper brow tutorial video. I'm just waiting for the right time that I can do that. Like, creating all these videos, they're really not easy, but I'm going to look for the right time. Probably I'm going to put my face out there with that video, right? I think that's going to be fun. All right, so now I'm going to highlight a brow. You already know what I do. If you've been watching my videos, I use Fawn. So I'm going to be using 3 shades actually. Yeah, I'm going to be using Fawn and pure beige. So I just use Fawn, so I'm going to go into pure beige for her brow bone, so I have that really crispy and highlighted area around the brow bone. Then I'm going to go into chestnut for the head of the brow. So I'm blending everything together with my buffing brush. Okay, guys, this voiceover is not easy. So I'm setting off her brow bone, that's the area I just concealed, with my mineralized powder, MAC mineralized powder. I'm just going to set it. I like the feeling it gives. Then I'm highlighting her brow bone with Inglot Sparkle in shade 02. Yes. Okay, I'm going into this P. Louise base concealer in Rumor 04. I'm using a fluffy brush, okay, to set the base of her eyelid. You want to blend that in really properly, and you have to close your eyes so that you don't create any creasing line. I'm using my favorite eyeshadow palette from Hagar and Esther. Alright, I'm building up her crease with this orangey, like burnt orange shade. I love this shade so much for the crease. It has this warm tone it gives. Okay, I'm just building it up till I get that full coverage I want. I'm using the darkest shade of it's not, we like call it wine or ox blood, you know, at the outer corner of our eyes. All right, I'm using it, so I'm going to build that up and blend it in properly. I'm blending it into the orange shade. so it gives me that smooth finish. So I'm using my Huda Beauty Nude New palette. If you know, I love this palette so much, like it's so pigmented and very easy to use, so I always jump into it, and it's very good for bridal looks. Okay, so I'm using a fluffy brush, eyeshadow brush, to just apply through. Then I'm using my Inglot gel liner to line her eyes. I'm not going to be creating any wings, so I'm just using a blending brush to like blend out the liner. So I'm using the Inglot too for the for her waterline, and I'm going to blend it out with a black eyeshadow. So I don't want it to be like so precise, I want to have that smoked under eyes. So I'm blending out her face, blending out all the powder, and I just smoked under her eyes with orange, and I'm setting with the Nuban setting spray. So I'm going in with this mineralized powder in dark tip, so I'm just using it all over a contour area. So basically I'm just using this to sculpt her face. Okay, this method helped me to eliminate any harsh lines. So I'm going in with this cacao, Maybelline cacao, for just her cheekbone, so I can have that really defined cheekbone. So just as I'm doing this, the hairstylist is slaying her hair for us to save time, because there's no need, like after slaying her doing her makeup, she starts styling the hair. If you have a bride that is in a haste, you don't have time, so you guys have to really work together. So I'm using the Inglot sparkle in O2 to highlight her face. Alright, so I'm put it to in a cupid point, and I'm using also this Fenty Beauty in a, I think, Peekaboo, that's what I use. Okay, I use 2 different shades of highlighter, so I can have that really defined glow that I want. So I'm using the MAC brow gel in boy girl. I will leave the information in the description to define a brow. So it's about time we're getting into the lips. So I'm using the Zara pencil in Vivid to outline her lips, so I want to have that defined shaped lip. Okay, so I'm blending the lip liner with a lip brush, so I want to have that smooth finish on her lip. And I'm using this lip gloss. It has a little bit of sparkle in it from Black Opal. Okay, you want to clean around that lip area. Okay, so you have that smooth finish. Oh, my best brow lash mascara in Zaron. I just use it. So I wanted to add a little bit of happiness to her eyes, so I had to go in with this what they call it, sparkles from Y Glam, to add it to her eyes. So right now I just glued up her skin with the TM Essential Glow in Sunset. Okay guys, you can see the finished look. Like, wow, she looks so pretty. Look at those lashes, they are the bomb. Creating a bridal look, you really need to be precise, from your hairstyling to your makeup to your accessories, your gown. Everything is really important. So before I sign off, please don't forget to hit the subscription button, comment and like my videos. Please don't just watch. I need you guys to comment, engage me in the comment section, so I know what you guys really want, what you guys like, so I know what to do in my next video. I'm so happy and grateful to God that I'm able to do this video. All right, please don't forget to subscribe. You can tell your friends about Didi Signature, and always remember, I love you all, but God loves you more. Bye.